Yo, what is going on, Lions Nation, baby? So, I want to get this podcast out. There's no guest with me today. I'm here by myself today, just talk about Lions free agency and what I want to draft, what position, maybe some players in every Lions news that's going on. Currently, what players were working out for a draft, scouting, what players we're interested in free agency, what players we've picked up, and the impact I think they're going to do on the team, and all that. Alright, so first move we made was on the first day of free agency. One of my favorite signings was, and I think will make one of the biggest impact on the team this season, wide receiver Marvin Jones from the Cincinnati Bengals. Alright, I think Marvin Jones, he was a great pickup, I think, because with Calvin retiring, we need to fill in that wide receiver spot. I mean, he's not going to be no Calvin Johnson, obviously, I don't think. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Calvin Johnson is a one-of-a-kind guy, a hell of a guy, man. You can't replace Calvin. But I think getting a guy like, my bad, Marvin Jones, that's a good replacement. And they made some other big splashes in the wide receiver position. They got Jeremy Curley, good player. I think he could be a great player in the slot. Him and TJ Jones could be a good player. They could be fighting for that slot spot, for the third wide receiver spot. I see Curley getting it. He's had more experience in the league than TJ. Just because I think the reason they picked up Curley is he's a great punt returner, kick returner, and I think they wanted more experience at the slot position and give TJ Jones and Corey Fuller some, maybe not as much playing time. And I don't know how to put this, but they're trying to give them watch more, I think, and they can get their time, when they're grown up. I think that's the reason why we picked up Curley, and it was only a 1-year deal, so I think we get Curley this year. If it works out, I think they will re-sign him. But if it doesn't, I think they're going to let TJ Jones move up in a few years. And he's going to get either that slot position next year, I think. I mean, not next year, the year after. I think Curley's going to get the slot position this year. And I see TJ Jones in a few years getting that slot position, or even possibly number 2 spot. But as of right now, I see Curley getting the slot position. I like how the receivers Bob Quinn formed. I see Golden Tate being the number 1 receiver with Marvin as number 2. I see Curley number 3, TJ Jones 4, and Corey Fuller back at 5. I don't see Lance Moore coming back. I think with us signing Marvin Jones, Curley, and getting Corey Fuller back, I think this means they're not going to get Lance Moore back. I feel like we might draft one in later rounds. I kind of hope we don't draft one in the first round, because there are some positions we still need to fill than just the wide receiver spot. So I see us picking up maybe a younger guy to fill in that, maybe get more experience and stuff like that. Maybe like a 4th, 5th round pick. That I'm not actually sure if we have a 5th round pick. I might be wrong on that, but yeah, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure about that. But I do see us getting a receiver later in the draft, not first 3 rounds. I don't see it happening. The only thing I'm not too happy about in free agency so far, we made no splashes at the O-line. We were interested in some players like Ogong, but went to Denver, and I guess I don't know, it didn't work out. He wanted the money. He went to Denver, so that didn't work out. That's the only problem I have right now with the team right now. We lost a few players and acquired a few players. We lost Ihedebo, is not going to be coming back. The whole Stephen Tulloch situation, I honestly don't know what's going to happen, but I'm pretty positive he's not going to be on the roster next year. I think they're going to try to trade him, but honestly, I don't see it happening, so I just feel he's going to be cut. And I think I would like if we got traded, because if he got traded, if we can get something out of Stephen Tulloch, a player we're already going to cut anyways, I mean, if we can get anything out of it, I'll be happy with, because totally get he's getting older. He's getting slower. So, I mean, I think it was a good move by Bob Quinn to, trying to trade him or cut him. But I don't think he's worth keeping around. Some other players that we cut, C.J. Wilson, he played half the season with us. We acquired him from waivers from the Raiders last year during the middle of the season. He's an alright guy, defensive tackle, not bad, but he wasn't really needed. Who else did we lose? I know we acquired some guys that are not big names, but that can make a difference. I think a very underrated player that we picked up, that people didn't make too much of a big deal out of. I think Stephen Charles, defensive tackle from Buffalo Bills. He's pretty young, I heard. I saw some highlights of him. Seems like a great guy. Hope he can make a big impact on the squad. Let's hope he works out. I can see him being a backup with maybe being a backup. I see the starters as of right now, unless we draft one in the first round, a defensive tackle. I see Nada and Walker being the starting defensive tackles again. If that's gonna be, I mean, it's not bad, but Stephen Charles could be a great backup. I don't know if the Lions will be looking to add a defensive tackle in the first round. I wouldn't be surprised to be in the second round, but knowing how depth the defensive tackles this year in the draft are, honestly, I would not be surprised to see us pick one. Honestly, I kind of don't want it to happen. I kind of want an offensive tackle. I saw Taylor Decker from Ohio State could be a good pickup. I might mispronounce his name. Coughlin. He played for Michigan State. I'm not a State fan, so I don't know him. So I saw some highlights about him though. He seems like a great blocker. I watched one Michigan State game a year, and that's when they play Michigan. So I don't know. I don't really know much about him. I don't know, but some reporters do have us drafting him in the first round in mock. I kind of like Decker as a good pickup. I think he would be a good first round pick. Some people want to see like a Laquan Treadwell or Corey Coleman. Honestly, I don't think we need another receiver in the first round, because knowing we're pretty depth, we have pretty good depth at the wide receiver spot. We have Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, Curley. We have T.J. Jones, Corey Fuller. I think that's good enough. If they do want to, I could see us drafting one later. I just do not see it happening in the first round. I don't think it's very worth it. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I just don't see it. Right down below, who you think we're going to get in the first round? I see us getting a guy like Taylor Decker or that Jack Cock. I'm not really sure. I just know his last name is like Coughlin, and he's from Michigan State. I could see us drafting one of those two guys in the first round. I heard some reports that we worked out Von Bell from Ohio State, a safety also. I heard that we worked him out. We worked out wide receiver Corey Coleman, and honestly don't see Corey Coleman coming to Detroit, but Von Bell, I heard he could possibly drop to second round or third. If we can get him in the second round, we may need some safety help, but I'm not sure. We did acquire Raphael Bush and Tavon Wilson, so those were two pretty big ads that we need to fill in the safety spot. We did lose Isaiah Abdul-Quddus to the Dolphins. Ihedebo is not gonna come back, and so our safeties were maybe a little stronger last year than maybe this year, but Raphael Bush is coming off a pretty big injury last season, so I mean, I wouldn't for sure plug him in as our starting strong safety just yet. I can see Tavon Wilson, a guy that may have not got a lot of playing time in New England. I could see him making a pretty big impact in Detroit, and maybe he's going to be fighting for that starting spot with Raphael Bush. I could totally see it. Tavon Wilson, I think, was a really underrated good pickup, and I could see us like how Isaiah Abdul-Quddus was. You know, he was a very underrated pick at the time when we picked him up. I see him filling that spot. I see maybe Raphael Bush. This is my prediction. Raphael Bush starts off the first half of the season, and I see Tavon Wilson eventually taking that starting strong safety spot. I think he is naturally more of a free safety spot, but he can play both safety spots, and I see him making a pretty big impact eventually. And I think it was a good pickup picking up Tavon Wilson. Another guy that we picked up, I'm not gonna even try to pronounce his name. I just know he's from Cleveland. Is Johnson Bunna. I'm not gonna try. You guys are gonna. I think you guys will blow up on me on the comments with that one. I don't know much about him, honestly. I mean, I don't know if he'll make a big difference. I heard he's very great on special teams, though, which we need, because we did lose a few players that helped us on special teams, like Isaiah Abdul-Qaddus, James Hedevo, Travis Lewis. Those guys were great on special teams. They all left. Hedevo is still a free agent. Travis Lewis signing with Minnesota Vikings, and Isaiah Abdul-Qaddus signing with the Dolphins. So, with that happening, I think that Johnson, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, picking him up was a great pickup for special teams, because we do need to improve on special teams. I heard some other reports. Lions are trying to lock up Sam Martin for trying to extend his contract, which I think is a very good idea. He's been a great punter for us, and we need to lock him up. I think that'll be good. So we do need. I think we still do need to fix up the special teams. That's why I could see us picking up a safety in the second round, like Von Bell from Ohio State, which would be a great idea in my opinion. And other than that, it's been an alright free agency. It could have been better, but most teams do not build from free agency. They usually build from the draft. And let's hope we have a good draft. And I like some of the moves that Bob Quinn made. Signing. He made a few good signings. Marvin Jones was my favorite. Curley was a good signing. Re-signing some of the guys like underrated players like Corey Fuller, Preston Butler, guys like that. I think that was a good idea. Signing underrated players. I hear Ziggy Ansah will most likely be getting an extension, which is great news. I see Slay getting extended soon too. And I think those guys we do need to lock up are young talent that have made big differences already. Some other moves I've liked, Tyron Walker coming back, that was a good move for us. I have to see how he is after that big injury he versus Seahawks last year. Hopefully he can come back and play great for us, because as of right now he's looking like to be our starting defensive tackle, unless we draft him in the first round, but we'll have to see about that. Draft is about like a little over a month away, and so we have to see what we do in the draft. And I think I will be making another podcast after the draft, maybe a live reaction draft podcast. Talk about, I may be doing a pre-draft the day before, like a week before. Just talk about when it gets closer to the draft, maybe we've who we're really interested in, all that good stuff. But as of right now, the Lions do look alright. Hopefully we can have an okay season. We're not supposed to be I wouldn't expect a Super Bowl team, guys. We'd be kind of lucky if we made the playoffs too, I feel. This is just because we're in rebuilding mode right now, honestly. We're just trying to get young talent to build around for years to come. We can't just think about this year, or even next year. We got to think about 5-10 years ahead, man. That's why I think we have to for sure lock up Ziggy Ansah and lock up Darius Slay. We cannot let them hit free agency when their contracts are up. No way. We got to lock those guys up. Those are big pieces. But other than that, I got nothing more else to say. Alright, hope you guys have a good day. Easter's coming up. Hope you guys all have a great Easter. This is Lions Nation. See you guys.